Hello, unlimited friends. I am here to respond to a question by Sug K. And Sug K posted a comment under one of my videos, and they said, because I have no idea whether they are a they or a him or a her, so they said, can you do a video on God and religion? And I asked them to be more specific, and then they said, your views on it. Would love to hear. Okay, it's a very big subject, and so I'm going to keep it brief and just give you the basics. It's going to be a very short answer. But before I get into it, let me introduce myself to those of you who are returning to my channel. Thank you for supporting my work. I really appreciate it. For those who are new here, hi and welcome. My name is ZMAHOON. I write the blog ZMAHOON.com, and I'm the author of 15 books on various subjects to do with the law of attraction. On this channel, I like to answer questions from you, my subscribers. So if you have a question about the law of attraction, please feel free to send it to me through my website ZMAHOON.com. And at this point in time, I am offering 30-minute consultations with myself. So if you would like to register for a consultation and help and get the help that I can offer to you to figure out how to apply law of attraction to your life and your situation, set up a 30-minute consultation and we'll go from there. All right, let's get into God and religion. The best explanation of what is God that I heard many years ago, possibly more than 20 years ago, and it has stuck with me because it just makes so much sense, and that explanation comes from Deepak Chopra. I heard Deepak explain in one of his talks that the universe, or that which we call God, is like an ocean, and from the ocean come the waves, and every wave is different, and every wave runs towards the beach and then recedes back into the ocean. And so all of us are like waves coming from that energy that we call God and receding back into that energy. We run our course and we go back. The interesting thing, and I'm building on what Deepak had shared, is that all waves that come from the ocean are always connected to the ocean. They never lose their connection. Have you ever seen a wave run towards the sandy beaches away from the ocean? No. They remain connected to the ocean and they recede back into it. And that's exactly what happens to us. We are born, we run our course, and we go back. In the meantime, we are always connected to the ocean, receiving guidance from it. We have a channel of communication with the ocean, and the ocean is always guiding us. Furthermore, we are all connected to each other through the ocean. And because we are all made up of the same water from the same ocean, we are all the same. There's no difference between us. So that is how I look at the concept of God, is that it is all of us. When you return into the ocean, just like a drop of water goes back into the ocean, you can't separate it from the ocean. So when we go back and become part of the ocean again, there's no separation between us and that which we call God. So that is how I look at what is God. So there's God in everything, because everything, whether it's a tree or a rock, comes from that same energy. So do humans. Religion. All religions have always started around the teachings of an individual who was asking a lot of questions about life and was not satisfied with the answers that they were receiving. And so they worked on their connection with God energy, with the energy of Source, and they started receiving answers from that energy. They shared their teachings with people, because when we find this information, we want to improve the lives of everyone around us. We want everyone to understand what we understand. And so that's how all prophets, whether you talk about Buddha or Jesus or Muhammad or Moses or Noah, all of them gathered a following, because the message resonates because it sounds true and it makes so much sense, more sense than all the doctrines and rules and regulations of government and society. And there is so much peace in it when you have this knowledge, and we are all looking for that peace and love. So when someone establishes a connection, and anyone can establish a connection, those people who create that connection with Source, who channel energy from the highest place on the emotional scale. Because channeling, remember, channeling can happen anywhere along the emotional scale, and there are people who channel, who themselves are at a place of worry, and now they are channeling. They are not channeling pure Source energy that we call God. You have to be right here at the top of the emotional scale to channel a pure message from that God force. No one can mistake that message, because it resonates with every cell of your body. Every cell of your body resonates with that message because it is true. And every cell of your body will recognize that as being the truth. And so every prophet and every truth sayer gathers a following around them of people who resonate with what they are teaching. And when people put those teachings into practical use in their lives and they see how their lives change, now they become believers. And religion has evolved because these believers, well-meaning people, wanted to keep the teachings alive. They wanted to teach their family members, their children, what they had learned and how they had improved their lives. But the thing about that continuity is that the human lifespan eventually comes to an end. As we are born, we must leave. That is a guarantee. And because there was no authentic way of capturing the original teachings, the verbal communication of these changed them, because every person has a perspective and every person has a way of explaining it, and every person will explain it differently based on whether they're explaining it to a 5-year-old or a 55-year-old. We modify our message because we want to convey it in different ways to different people who are in front of us. That process dilutes the message. And so what was a pure message is no longer pure, even if it has run through 3 or 4 generations. Forget about the hundreds of generations that have come after teachers like Ram and Sita and like Buddha, and there were so many Buddhas, right? Just like there were so many saints around Jesus, just like there were so many Suhaba around Muhammad, right? So there's always this gathering. They are well-meaning, but we didn't have the audio-visual capabilities that we now have to actually record. I mean, imagine if in the days of Jesus there had been a camera, absolutely people would have recorded that message. If in the times of Muhammad there was a camera that could capture the true words coming out of the Prophet's mouth, of course they would have been captured. And then the message would have remained authentic. So unfortunately, what religion is a watered down, edited version of the original message. And I think that watering down applies across the board. And what happens when that communication takes place is that the essence and the context is lost. The ritual remains, but the internal intention is lost. Because, I mean, we do it all the time. There's so many people on social media who are taking snippets of conversation out of a longer conversation, and when you take that snippet out without the context of it, now that snippet can be interpreted in so many different ways because the context is no longer there. And because we have lost the original message, the context is no longer there. But the ritual is still there. The ritual prevails because rituals are easier to remember. And so the essence, the emotional essence behind the ritual is gone. And a lot of the rituals are cultural. They have cultural context. So I feel that even though the original teachers of Moses and Abraham and the prophets of old, even though those original teachings have been watered down, I feel that they have been watered down. Still, if you read through and you try to understand all religions, they are all the same. They all have the same basis. They all want us to be grateful. They all want us to be good to our neighbor. They all want us to be honest and do good things. And they all want us to seek guidance from God. And they all tell us to look for that guidance inside us. And so, as far as I'm concerned, there's no difference. And I think that studying the law of attraction has given me so much more valuable insight in being able to understand truly the teachings of Muhammad and the teachings of Jesus and the teachings of Buddha and a lot of the teachings that are part of Hinduism, because I have looked into these things. And I think that even if you don't have the original message, that if you follow the religion that you are born in, you can create a happy life. There are so many people who are staunch followers of their chosen religion, whether they chose it consciously or were born in it, and they follow those guidelines for living their life, and they feel satisfied with themselves, and they feel satisfied with what is happening to them and their life. And At the end of the day, that is what this is all about. If you are able to find satisfaction, make peace and be happy, then it doesn't matter which religion on earth you belong to. It really does not matter, because we are all searching for the same thing, and all human beings, regardless of what religion, what culture they belong to, all are looking for the same stuff. All are looking for abundance. All are looking for freedom. All are looking for love. Across the board. And so, I think we make too big a deal of it. It's really not a very big deal what religion you follow, what your spiritual beliefs are. What matters is using the paradigm that you have adopted for yourself. Are you able to live a satisfying and happy life? And if the answer to that question is a resounding hell yes, yes, I am absolutely able to live a satisfying and happy life, then you need to look no further. The thing that happens with people is that they misinterpret or misunderstand some of the teachings, and they are not able to make sense of their life and what is happening in the world based on the religious paradigm in which they are born. And so they start looking for answers. There's got to be an answer. And the grass is always greener on the other side, isn't it? You look at other paradigms and you say, well, maybe that one's better. Trust me, I've done that. And here I am today, and I'm going to tell you that they are all the same, because remember, the objective of all of them is the same. All religion wants is for humans to have good lives. There isn't a single religion that wants people to suffer. There isn't a single religion that wants people to be unhappy. It's supposed to be a guide for a happy life. And so I can go on, but I think I'm going to stop here. I hope that you find this useful, and I hope that you are able to stand back and consider that truly it doesn't matter, because we all come from the same source, and we will all return to the same force. You and I and everyone else, we are all the same. Take care, folks. I hope that you will subscribe, and I hope that if you have questions about the law of attraction and life in general, that you will consider letting me help you find the answers. Love you all lots. Bye for now.